I went back to my old college stomping grounds for a weekend with friends, expecting to sit down with my buddy Seth to hear about his unique fundraising experience with members of the Grateful Dead. What I didn't expect was that we'd be able to walk right in and record our conversation inside of one of the Dead's most iconic venues. This is the So Many Roads podcast, coming to you live from Barton Hall at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. All right, we're here from Barton Hall in Ithaca, New York, with my good friend Seth, who I met at Ithaca College here in this famous Grateful Dead city. And we just were on a summer trip with some friends, little college reunion. We figured we'd come by, check out Barton Hall. I'd only been in here one other time for a Blues Traveler concert back in the 90s. So we figured we'd have a little chat about Ithaca's history with the Grateful Dead, as well as a little bit of Seth's experience. So let's get to it, Seth. So
Awesome.
Talk to us a little bit about before you became a Deadhead, just really briefly, like what was your musical experience growing up?
Yeah, so I had a pretty wide taste, from Barbra Streisand to Genesis, and middle school I was really into progressive rock. So yes, Genesis, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, huge Pink Floyd fan, huge Pink Floyd fan. And that was really carried me through almost all the way into basically into college.
Okay, so when I met you, you were a prog rock guy.
Yes,
Okay,
definitely,
okay.
yes.
And so what's really interesting to me is that, we were talking about driving up here to Barton Hall. I was like, I didn't really figure out that you were a Deadhead till like the latter part of college.
True.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about how you got on the bus. How'd you become a Deadhead? How'd you get on the bus?
So yes, I hung around the bus stop a lot. When I was in
Was
summer
I at the
camp-
bus stop?
What's that?
Was I at the bus stop?
You may have been around the bus stop, but we were talking, actually, it was more like the school bus stop, because at summer camp, we used to have this sing thing, and they used to play Ripple and Uncle John's Band like every Saturday. And so that was the extent of my Grateful Dead connection.
Where was the summer camp?
I was in the Poconos, Camp Pine Mere. So, and you had older counselors who did know the Dead. Some of the counselors took their off days and they're like, oh, we're going to Philly for the Dead shows. And then they came back, after 2 nights or whatever.
It's so interesting to me because, again, we've only just started this podcast a few months ago, and you're like the third person to tell me, either in the Catskills or in the Poconos, they heard the Grateful Dead sort of in the beginning of their musical experience at a camp.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
It's cool. And, I loved it.
All right, so take us from there. How did you become like a full-fledged Deadhead?
Full-fledged. So I was listening, we were listening in school, and then I went to my first show with my brother. He took me to RFK in 1994, so really at the tail end. Actually the first album he played was one from the vault. So you have the intro, right? And as you're driving to the RFK, you're hearing the intro of all these people. And I still wasn't connected with, I didn't know everybody.
Get you.
Right, right. It's very, if you're like, oh, Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia, and then you hear, who are all these other people? And then you unpack that and you're like, this is crazy. So
Yeah. And so, my memory of you is like, it was either you were in Ithaca after you graduated, but you were a year older than me. And I feel like I visited your apartment and you had one of those posters that had like every Grateful Dead song in a sketch. And I was like, wow, Seth has really gone down the rabbit hole. Like he's a full-fledged Deadhead. So what happened after that show? Did you really just dive in head first?
So really, yes, I went, I was into it. And then in 95, I went to Highgate, which was great, in Vermont, which is awesome. And then the 2 shows at RFK, and then Jerry died. And it was the same year that I had graduated, right? And so actually my first job was on the road all the time, driving all over here. So I just listened to shows and concerts and all the albums in the car for 4 or 6 hours all at a time and immersed myself that way.
And so you just became fully immersed.
Totally.
And yeah, so it's so fun to talk to you about this because again, I didn't really know that about you until the very latter part of my experience up here in Ithaca. And we talk, from time to time, text about the Dead and stuff ever
Yeah.
since. But you have such a wide variety of musical taste that what just makes me curious is, before we move on to other things, is like, what do you love about the Dead? Because literally at any moment I could hear any kind of music coming out of your phone or speaker.
True.
So what's your
True.
what
We
really?
were listening to Roberta Flack yesterday.
Yeah,
I think.
literally. Yeah, like ridiculous stuff. So, what is it about the Dead, as someone who knows so much about music, that just like they got your hooks? They got their hooks in
you know what?
What is it? What is that thing?
It's a combination of like how I feel. I like listening to it when I'm out and hike, and so sometimes I'll hear the right song and it'll just give me this energy. I like the mix of voices, and I really like that most everything just gives you a jammy beat. You want to dance and stuff, and it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, nobody I've met in all these years can really explain it to me.
Nope, there's no real answer. It's a magic.
Some sort of magic.
Some sort of magic.
That's actually pretty incredible. You and I right now are the only ones in Barton Hall.
We are.
There's like an echo. It's hot, and it's kind of cool as Deadheads. Just be sitting here. They're the only people in here.
Well, when we walked in, there's the Barton Hall sign, and there's like a whole bunch of Deadhead stickers that are all over it.
So I threw a So Many Roads podcast sticker up in Barton Hall. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, so.
But we are really literally sitting in, such an iconic Grateful Dead location. The scene behind us right now on camera is they also showed it at the Sphere as part of their show. So
that's cool.
I thought you and I, since again you've probably dove into the Grateful Dead even more than me throughout the years. It's one of the reasons why I started this, is because I don't know as much as I want to. So I kind of wanted to explore the Grateful Dead's legacy here in Ithaca, which is a place that's special to you and me, but everyone knows about if they're a Deadhead.
Right.
I'm fascinated that they played here 3 times. Not everybody knows that. And so I thought maybe we could start our discussion very quickly about the 77 show. We all know that show, widely considered one of the best, if not the best, Grateful Dead shows, and just get your opinion on it. I don't know if there's anything we can say that's has not already been said.
Sure.
But let's talk about that briefly. But then I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the other shows. So,
okay.
So what do you think of that May 8th, 1977? What's your opinion?
So we were here in Ithaca for all that time, and I actually didn't know about the Barton Hall show until later in my discovery, right? Because I was going through tapes, and you get that one, but you have to listen to all the different ones. And so it's a good show. I actually think that the 1977 spring tour is probably the Grateful Dead at one of their best points.
Pretty common opinion.
Yeah. They had just been coming off of a couple years of Mickey wasn't there, and they were not playing as much during that small time there.
Yeah, they came back rehearsed.
Exactly. And they didn't have a lot of guests or anything during the 77, and they were rolling out new albums, and everything was really tight. And so I think, my opinion is that the whole tour is so good that you could potentially pick several shows from that tour and say they're the best show. Mm-hmm. And as somebody myself who's chasing songs, I'm looking for the songs that I want. Mm-hmm. It's not always my most favorite songs in that Cornell show.
Yeah, I have a couple opinions about it. First of all, it's a fantastic show. Anybody who says it isn't is crazy. But there's song selection is big for me too. Like, I personally have a really hard time. My ears don't like Lazy Lightning, and that's part of that show. And I think you were mentioning you don't really like Road Jimmy.
I don't like
Road Jimmy. That's part of that show. So I haven't gone on the hunt for the perfect show for my personal songs, but Cornell Barton Hall is not it for 77.
Right.
But it's so clean. The Betty board is so good. And, unlike you, I had that tape when I was in high school, and that tape was like cream of the crop tape in your collection. So I think the sound played a really big part in it.
Definitely.
It's pretty balanced, even though I think Phil's maybe a little high in the mix.
Yeah.
That's maybe a controversial statement, but I think that. But the songs are clean, they're tight.
They are.
Donna's in key.
Donna's great. All through 77. I think Donna's great.
So a great show, you know. And again, it's so cool to be here in this iconic spot right behind us with the Cornell University barn windows.
Yep.
So this is fun for me. I hope you're liking it. But what I wanted to run by you is people don't talk about the other two shows as much. I think we're going to kind of skip over the 1981, even though it's got the fun playing in the barn line, playing in the band. And there's a couple cool little segments in that show, particularly in the second set. But that 1981 show, I've listened to a couple times because I knew we were coming up here.
Yep.
And I know you're a big fan.
I am.
So let's talk about that 1981 show because I think it's punchy as hell. Barton Hall, I forget the date. Shoot, I should have written that down.
1981.
I know it's 1981, but
sometime in 1981.
I forget the actual date. But
well, you're still learning, and I don't keep track of that.
Yeah. Tell me about that show. What do you think?
So it has some of my most favorite songs. I'm a huge Weather Report Suite fan, and they had pared it down to Let It Grow by then. And I also love Saint of Circumstance, Lost Sailor, Saint of Circumstance, and that show has both of them. So
it's ticking a lot of boxes for you.
It's checking a lot of boxes for me, and it's really, really jazzy and really, really fun. And you've got Brent at this point now, so you can't really compare apples to apples because it's totally different.
It's a whole different
selection.
Chapter. Yep.
Yeah, but nonetheless, there's just a lot in there that's just super fun.
And if you're a Brent fan, he's really high in the mix in that 1981 show, at least the Charlie Miller one that I listened to. And they come out on fire.
They do.
The songs are fast.
They are.
That Let It Grow that you were talking about, Jerry's just going bananas up and down the fretboard. And the Lost Sailor Saint is also pretty peppy.
It is. It is.
Peppy.
That's, so you can't go wrong for those.
So yeah, I think it's a little bit of an underrated show, whereas 77 might be a little bit of an overrated show. But nonetheless, Cornell is steeped in Grateful Dead history. And it's just so cool that we spent a little portion of our lives here in the town that's so famous for the Grateful Dead. And it's such a beautiful place. If you've never been to Ithaca, you
must come. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is gorgeous, yes. All right, Seth, despite being here in this amazing place, one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk to you is I know that you actually did a little work with members of the Grateful Dead.
True.
So tell us just real quick, give a plug to your company and kind of what you do.
Sure. Yeah, so we are a brand marketing agency, and we do a lot of branded items for special events and all sorts of different needs. And for a number of years, we were involved with a lot of political fundraisers. And we were approached for 2 years to do some T-shirts for Deadheads for Leahy, for Senator Patrick Leahy from the state of Vermont. And so in 2004, it's pretty low key. We just did the shirts and sent them to them.
Okay, so your company, which is called Sonic.
Yep, Sonic Promos. Yep.
You make merch.
We do. We make branded merch.
Branded merch.
We do. Thanks for the plug, Pete.
You got it.
But yeah, we do that kind of stuff. Super fun. And I've been doing it since I was in college,
Literally,
right? I was selling fraternity and sorority stuff.
Yeah.
So now that's what I've been doing. And anyway, in 2006, we were brought in to do the shirts, design the shirts, and sell them at a merch table at the actual show. And what this was
And where was the show?
So the show was, I have to remind myself here, it was at the Renaissance Washington Hotel in Washington, D.C.
It was in D.C., okay.
Right. So it was it was, just imagine you're at somebody's wedding or bar mitzvah in a hotel, and the Grateful Dead members were playing the band. And there's probably about, 500 people that were inside of this little
so you had a little
ballroom
booth with the T-shirts?
We had a booth outside, and then once we sold all the T-shirts, we were able to come in and, we meaning me at the time.
You were the boss?
The boss and the Deadhead to come in and enjoy the rest of the show. And so from there, it was like, 4 hours of music, because it started at 7. And when it was over, there was a VIP experience at the end. which included a back room with Magic Hat, a beer, Ben and Jerry's ice cream,
Okay.
and an opportunity to get your photo taken with all the bands, all the members, and Patrick Leahy and his wife.
Okay.
And so I was invited to be able to do that. Invited / pushed my way
Nudge,
in.
nudge.
Nudge,
Yeah,
nudge,
yeah,
nudge.
yeah, yeah.
Didn't make a major investment to the campaign, but and so when we did it, and it was great, and I got a couple shirts. I brought here's the shirt
Yeah, show
here.
us the shirt. So
yeah,
you
this is
made
one
the
of the
shirt.
shirts. Yeah, we designed the whole shirt, and it's got the drum, the drum design on the
For
front.
Mickey.
Yeah, for Mickey, because it was Bobby and Mickey. And then on the back, you've got featuring Mickey, Hart, and Bob Weir, new riders of the Purple Sage, the Flying Other Brothers, Washington, D.C., May 23rd, 2006. So coming up on 20th anniversary.
Cool. And you got a picture with them?
And so, so then they took a picture with me, sent me the picture, signed picture from Senator Leahy,
Okay.
which says, to Seth, great T-shirts,
Oh,
Senator
sick.
Leahy. And
There's
then there's
Bobby.
Bobby right there. There's Mickey
There's
right
Mickey, yeah.
there. There's the senator.
Yeah.
There's Seth with his baby face, short hair. There's the senator's wife wearing
So that's you
one
in
of
the
the
middle.
shirts. That's
Yeah,
me in the
okay,
middle.
yeah.
And then all the members of the band.
Very cool.
And so I
And
had
the poster's
Oh, and the
great.
poster, yes. So the poster's awesome.
That poster's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's got all the stuff in
It's
there.
got the Capitol building.
Yep. It's really cool.
Mickey, Bobby's name,
Yep.
big
And
letters.
so
That's really
they got
cool.
sent to me, and we got it all framed and everything, and it was a great
And
experience.
so you were heavily involved with that. That's
yeah,
very cool.
really cool.
And so did you get to chat with Bobby or Mickey?
Not really, just
No.
like a hello. I mean, there was a line. Come in, grab your beer, grab your ice cream, wait in line. You probably waited an hour or so because that spot is the open spot, and you just sit there, get up, sit there, get up.
Wait, so you didn't really get to chat with them, but you got to take a full picture with them?
I did, yeah.
How'd that happen?
That was part of the experience. So
Oh,
they
so
were all
everybody
sitting
got-
there. Yeah, it was like a class photo thing.
Oh,
And they
okay.
say, hey, Seth,
Okay.
sit here.
So it literally was like a VIP
It was.
greet.
It was a very
but-
much a
but
meet
it
and
was
greet,
a-
but not like a, hey, let's, that kind of thing.
I wonder, I don't know enough about it, but I wonder how common it is to have met members of the Grateful Dead at a political event, because we know they're known as sort of apolitical, but wink, wink,
Yeah,
they did some stuff.
they did. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they definitely are big supporters of Senator Leahy for several, well, at least a couple of times. But they're always been involved in, usually good, what they think are good related things,
Sure.
rainforest.
Rainforest,
and-
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How was the music?
It was great. And so when we were talking about this, it was 20 years ago. I didn't know if I could find it. And I looked online, and you can find a couple of videos on the YouTube. And so it's funny to see them playing and then seeing the same guys in this picture. I was like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
the guy. He was there.
He was on that.
But yeah, Bobby came out. It was like, 11 years after Jerry had died. They were all doing, there was Further,
Yeah.
and there was a whole bunch of stuff. Dead and Company hadn't happened yet. It was like this, what do we do kind of, middle part kind of thing. And I think they've exploded since
Yeah, I
then.
don't know my Further history well enough. I should. I don't know exactly when that started.
Yeah, I went
Yeah.
to Further. It wasn't soon. It felt like it was 1998 or something.
No, it was probably like the other ones.
Oh, right, the other ones.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like Further might have been around that time
Yeah.
that you had the fundraiser, but I'd have to double check
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm not knowledgeable enough about it to
I
have
don't
it
either.
memorized.
Yep.
But we had to come to Barton Hall. We had to
Yeah,
do it, Seth.
definitely.
I'm thrilled to be here. Like, you really get the sense.
Well,
about,
it's the ROTC building as
Yeah.
well. So if you look around, you'll see you've got the Army, and you've got the
Yeah.
Navy, Air Force, Marines.
So we're up here in the bleachers.
What
and-
a great place. It's a great place to start.
Yeah, man, it's cool. So
Yeah.
you got to meet the members of the Grateful
I
Dead.
did.
Not everybody
did.
can say
Not
that.
everybody can say they did.
All right, that's very cool, man.
Cool.
Thank you
Yep.
for sharing that.
Sure.
Thanks again for sharing everything.
Absolutely.
For being here at
Except
Bart.
for that concert.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
remember it.
we'll remember it. We'll figure it out. Being here in Barton Hall on this hot summer day in Ithaca, New
Yes.
York. So the thing I always do to end the show, Seth, is this thing called Rapid Fire. It's like a
Okay.
little game show. It's part Rorschach test. and I'm just going to throw some stuff at you
Okay.
and see what you come up with, just
Okay.
for fun. Have some fun with the Grateful Dead and its surrounding world. So,
Okay.
you're a pretty unique guy. You're a pretty original guy. So I came up with this one that I thought might be kind of fun for you. Is that if the Grateful Dead was an animal, it can't be a bear or a turtle.
Okay.
What would it be and why?
Oh, they probably would be a chameleon.
Oh, fancy pants. All right, talk to me about this.
Because they can, sort of be whatever they want to be. They can sing whatever they want to sing. They can really change the complete atmosphere, and to be able to do that, I think, is really part of the enduring spirit. Is it's not just like a one thing over and over and over again. So they're able to also evolve, I mean, that's why you've lasted for 60 plus years, at least the whole, aura of the Dead. And I think that would be my answer, Alex.
Man, that's a hell of an answer.
Thank you.
And did you get these questions ahead
No,
of time?
no.
Jeez, that's a good answer.
Thank you.
One of my favorite shows, I've said it a couple times already, probably on this podcast, is I really love The Day After Cornell. I think it's a little bit slightly more experimental, but still super tight.
Buffalo. Yeah,
Buffalo. And to go from the Help Slip Frank into the whole like Western Southern vibe.
Yes.
Again, it's chameleon stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I love a good cowboy jam, Promised Land.
Yeah, but you're doing a cowboy jam that's sandwiched by Help Slip Frank, and then music never stops. Like,
which I love as well.
And then the next set you get an estimated. Whatever, they really are for. That's the thing that sort of aggravates me about people when they're anti-Grateful Dead, is you don't realize how eclectic the music truly is.
Because they think they're just jam band.
It's just the 50-minute jam with the same notes over and over. And
a lot of goose.
Yeah. Oh boy, we got goose hatred. All right, next question before we get into that. I'm not going to give you a goose question.
No, please no.
All right, so what is, and again, we talked about this earlier today, you just love all kinds of music, but as a Deadhead, who is a musician that people would be surprised that you highly respect and you listen to a lot? It would be a surprise.
Way
out of the box.
Way out of the box. I'm a huge Luther Vandross fan.
Okay, all right.
Love Luther. I'm a huge Marvin Gaye fan. Love Marvin Gaye. I love soul music. I love a lot of R&B. I listen to the Spinners a lot, and I like Tina Turner, right? So it's not even close to Deadhead stuff. I just have a, really wide variety of music that I like.
Stuff is great.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that growing up?
Yes. Yes.
Do you like Animal House?
I do love Animal House. Yeah, right. I mean, I'm a chameleon.
What's the name of the band?
Which band?
Otis Day and the Nights.
Otis Day and the Nights.
Yeah, Otis Day and the Nights. Yeah. My man. That's so good.
Yeah, I do like
I love that stuff too.
That, and I like Celine Dion as well.
Oh, there's a good answer.
So I don't have any problem with that. I like listening to musical divas. I was listening to some Adele yesterday. So I just like good music.
That was the answer
good,
I wanted. I thought we would get to the divas.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all about the divas.
Right.
I like the divas.
I was actually secretly hoping, that
I would say Peter Cetera and Amy Grant. All right, there it is.
I was secretly, sorry, I have a cold, so if I'm having trouble getting the words out. Secretly hoping you'd say Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am somewhat of a Swiftie, but not like to the full max. Like, I totally appreciate her a lot.
Yeah, I know a few Deadheads, and now they usually are women, but they're full Swifties.
Yeah.
I find the parallels really fun to talk about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so. All right, a couple more questions.
Sure.
This one I thought was really fitting for you as well, is that if you could steal one musician's wardrobe, who would it be?
Steal one musician's wardrobe?
Yeah. There's some good ones out there.
There are.
But you only get one.
I only get one. Jeez.
I didn't think this one would stump you.
Yeah, it'd be a stumper. I don't really focus that much on the, like, you want something obscure?
No, what pops into your head? First thing.
You know what? I don't actually you're talking musicians who have like a specific style.
Yeah.
The first style that pops out to me would be Johnny Cash, but that's just a
Okay.
style.
That's fair.
Right? So
Yeah, I
I mean
like
that
that.
would be the one I would go
I
for.
like that.
I'm pretty much a t-shirt and shorts and jeans guy. So, like if it's obscure, like if you want me to put on a Prince purple suit, I'll put on a Prince purple
Yeah,
suit.
you definitely would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Elton John.
Well, that one
Yeah.
felt like a softball if I said Elton John.
Yeah.
If you were
Liberace.
if you were
Right.
searching for those,
Right. Oh, I like your answer.
Okay.
I like your answer there.
Jackie Rogers Jr.
I like your answer.
Okay.
Johnny
All
Cash
right.
is a great
Okay.
answer. Okay. All right. So we end always with the classic, like, what are your favorite songs? All right. So, we do like a Mount Rushmore thing.
Okay.
So you get 4 songs.
Okay.
There's the only Grateful Dead songs you're going to listen to for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
You only get 4, but the 4th is the pinnacle. The 4th is the top of the mountain. What is your absolute number 1 Grateful Dead song? Hit me. You only get 4.
Okay.
You're on a desert island rest of your life. What do you got?
Okay. I always have Jack Straw in my arsenal. It's just a great song. You've got Jerry and Bobby singing together.
Playing off each other.
Both part of that. So that's definitely for me. I need a weather report suite. I need the full suite. I need 1974-ish, everything, all the parts. That's definitely because I need one pretty long song.
That's
so
fair.
I think that's a good one for me. And
2 more.
I know. So now here's just a question before I'm not, is a help slip Frank one? Or
You're
is that
you're the first person to ask me this.
Yes. Is a lost sailor saint of circumstance?
You know what? Let's bend the rules a little bit because we are at Barton Hall, Ithaca, New York.
Okay.
Cornell University. Let's
Great.
bend the rules a little
Okay.
bit. If they don't stop playing, it counts as 1 song.
Okay. So it's help slick Frank into Wharf Rat, into Good Loving.
Oh, get out of here with that. Good Loving can.
I know you don't. But I know you don't
yeah,
like
Get
Good
out of
Loving.
here with that.
You know what? I've really been getting into a sugary. So
Okay.
I'm going to put sugary on there.
All
Not
right.
everybody's favorite
All right,
song
what's
there.
the top of your mountain? And if it works out, if we find a version that doesn't get copyright strike, we might end the podcast with it in tribute to you being my guest. What's the song?
Thank you.
What's the main song, rest of your life, number 1?
I am going to say, I got it. Throwing Stones.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
See, this is why I love this question. It's such a simplistic question.
Yeah. It took me a little while to get there, but
I've gotten so many different answers just in 5 episodes. It's incredible, the variety.
Throwing Stones, only because I just think it continues to apply.
Yeah, sure.
Time and time again.
Sure.
To whenever it was being sung, it was always applicable. And it's not too long, but it's got some long, and it's got some build up, and there's got some jam in there. And it's Bobby. I love Bobby. I think he's great.
And you can always transition into the Not Fade
Oh,
Away.
yeah,
which is such a
exactly,
cool way to
exactly.
end
Well,
the
that's
show.
right. Well, that is actually, it was a Throwing Stones into Not Fade
Yeah.
Away was my
Yeah.
my 4th. But yeah, those would be
It's
my
really cool.
4.
Just as a side note, at my the school I teach at, they do morning announcements, but they do it with a green screen. They have a video production thing, and teachers are allowed to request songs for the
that's
closing
fun.
credits.
Oh, nice.
And my pick this year was Throwing Stones.
there you go.
You wouldn't believe how many compliments I got, walking down the hallway that afternoon, mostly from other teachers, but also from a couple kids. I
that's cool.
really dug that song. It's one of those songs that I think can reach people
That's right.
that aren't Deadheads as
That's
well,
right.
which is pretty neat. So.
Yep.
All right, Seth, thanks again for coming with me here.
My pleasure.
I mean, we're sweating.
We are.
We literally turned
Could you
off-
imagine how hot it would have
It must
been
have been
at a
so
concert
hot.
in May?
And the other thing I wanted to mention real quick before we leave Barton Hall, just crossed my mind looking at this. There must have been a lot of people in here for them to feel like people were getting crushed. Because it's actually a little bit bigger than I remember it.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
And all 3 Barton Hall shows from Cornell, they do the step back thing.
Okay.
Apparently that was a thing here, being up front and getting crushed. And I actually read a couple little blogs. People were like, yeah, man, I was scared. I grabbed my girlfriend and ran out of that front because it was scary. So
yeah,
that's a neat little piece of trivia too, that, there was always a step back
Yeah, for
at
sure.
Barton Hall for sure. So, all right, man, thanks again. Appreciate
My pleasure.
it. And we'll see you on the road.
fresh in some Plaza City, home for you and me. Peaceful place where Zoe looks from space. A closer look reveals the human race. Full of hope, full of grace, is the human face. When we're free, they are home to waste. Cause there's a fear down here we can't forget. Hasn't got a name, just can't. Always awake, always around. Singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Watching the ball revolves on the nighttime falls. It begins, the heart begins. It again the blood wind calls. By and by again, the morning sun will rise. But the darkness never goes from some men's eyes. Well, the now, smoke the sidewalks and it rolls the streets. Stinking turn, dividing up feet. Nightmares spook, piece of heat. It is you and me, you and me. Oh, big flash blade in the ghetto night. Rudy's looking for a fight. Rat cat alley, roll and bone. Need that cash to feed that Jones. And the politician throwing stones, singing ashes, ashes, all fall down, singing. Commissars and pinstripe bosses roll the dice. Any way they fall, just who gets to pay the price? Funny green, or proletarian gray, selling guns, still to prove the day. So the kids, they dance, they shake their bones, and the politician throwing stones, singing ashes, ashes, all fall, singing ashes, ashes, all fall.
Thanks for joining me on the So Many Roads podcast. I'm your host, Pete Booley. Dave Steinman is our show's technical director. Theme music by Sawyer Booley. Original artwork by Ashley Hodson. You can find us on YouTube, Meta, at our website, somanyroadspodcast.buzzsprout.com. If you have a unique story or perspective to share, feel free to make a comment on any platform or hit me up at somanyroadspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, let's keep the journey going.